You're not seriously blaming all Muslims for what happened on September the 11th.
No, but I don't need to. Why do we need them? I mean, look at the San Bernardino shooters.
Sorry, wait a minute. Ann Coulter. Let me just stop you there. It's Piers here. We have clashed before. People may be unsurprised to hear. When you say, why do we need them,
right,
are you talking about all Muslim people? There are 1.6 billion Muslims in the world. When you say, why do we need them, what do you mean?
No. I mean, why does our country need them? The point is, America is not a battered woman's shelter. Immigration policy, as I describe in the book, it ought to be designed to make the lives of Americans better, including immigrants to America. That isn't how our immigration policy has been run.
Look, Muslims represent...
So even before they start shooting, what was the point of Syed Farouk's parents? His father was a truck driver. What, there are no Americans who will drive a truck?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Syed's mother said that the father was, mentally ill. He was drunk. He beat the mother. Yeah. We have our own problems. We have our own poor people. We have our own criminals.
Yes. Let me jump in. Right. The two worst mass shootings in modern American history were at Sandy Hook, the school where 20 children and 6 adults were killed, and at Aurora in Colorado, where a guy shot 70 people as they watched a movie. In both cases, the shooters were white Christian Americans. I don't remember you or Donald Trump or any Republican jumping up saying, hey, this is terrible, we now have to ban all white Christians from the United States. Why, just because it's two Muslims who commit a mass shooting in a year when there have been more mass shootings than there are days in the year in America, why suddenly do all Muslims have to be banned when, in fact, the number of mass shootings and the number of crimes they commit in America are minuscule compared to every other part of the society?
Well, two things. First of all, your facts are wrong. The biggest mass shooting in America was by an immigrant at Virginia Tech a few years ago. That guy Cho. The point is, we can't. I'd love to deport Americans who are mentally ill or might commit crimes or do commit crimes. We can't deport Americans who are criminals. Again, we have our own criminals we have to take care of. Why would we bring criminals in? Why would we bring the mentally ill in? So when I say, why do we need them, I'm saying, why does our country need them? It's one thing if we're bringing in, Muslim, nuclear scientists or nuclear cell biologists. That's not what we're getting. The refugees, for example, 90% of them are on welfare, more than our Native Americans. Welfare is for our own poor people.
Let me jump in. Okay, so how far do you take this? You want to ban all Muslims from other countries coming in, one, but do you now want to get rid of the 3 to 4 million Muslim United States citizens currently living in the country? Why should they be, by your rationale, any safer than the ones you're trying to ban from coming in from overseas countries?
Well, there might be something we can do about that. I mean, one thing that I think was suggested by
would you deport every Muslim currently living as a United States citizen, of which there are 3 to 4 million? Would you literally deport them? You're hesitating?
No, the point is... No, the reason I'm hesitating is...
You actually are seriously contemplating deporting 3 to 4 million Muslims?
No, I'm not seriously contemplating. We have a delay. I'm trying to decide which angle to take on this. Look, the point is, one of the mass shooters at San Bernardino just last week was technically a United States citizen. Now, he flew and he went to Yemen and found himself his fiancée he was coming back with. There are laws that could have prevented him from bringing that fiancée back. There are laws that could have prevented not only Muslims but any U.S. citizen,
what would you do?
White Christians,
please answer this question, because it's very worrying for any Muslim in America who is a United States citizen when they hear of a guy who may be president, Donald Trump, say, I want to ban all Muslims, and he hasn't really clarified exactly what he means yet. You have. Yes, you said you want to stop all Muslims coming in. But what about, and just answer the question, what do you want to do about the 3 to 4 million existing Muslim American citizens who, by your logic, should comprise the same threat as Muslims living outside the country coming in?
I got the question. The answer is, whether they're Muslim or not, anyone who goes to certain countries, North Korea, for example, engages in transactions with North Korea, Cuba, drug cartels in Latin America. We already have laws on the books that if you do that, you will be subject to up to 30 years in prison, millions of dollars in fines. We could just extend that, and I don't really care if they're Muslims or not. If you go over to Syria, yeah, I think we ought to look at them before they come back. Right now, there are 1,000 open investigations, ISIS investigations, of individuals in the United States. Some of them may be homegrown after running into some of these, productive immigrants we bring in. But why should Americans, taxpayers, be spending money on these investigations? Yeah, if you go to Syria, of course we should look at those people and see whether they should come back in, and if they come back in, whether maybe they should end up in jail.
Okay.
But there are laws that can be done for things like that. But just to say, oh, he's a citizen, therefore he's okay. One of the San Bernardino shooters was a, quote, U.S. citizen.
Maybe it might be slightly more helpful to the American people if we deported you, Ann Coulter, from America.
Is that your argument?
No, that's a goodbye. Talk to you soon. Ann Coulter.